basically a question to myself, but it's called the alley-oop, all right? So what we do with the alley-oop here, you get to ask the host one question.
Right.
One question, I'll let you know if I answer it or not. So, and if I've answered, you get to ask another question. You get to ask me one question, any question at all.
Okay.
Go.
How's the comedy stuff going? Tell me about it.
All right. Let me get deep. Let me get deep real quick. So comedy for me, I gotta speak on this a couple things. So when my pops passed, right, he was the main person that I would talk to about comedy. Out of everything I did with comedy, or anything I did with my life, there was a couple things that he kind of sticked with. He loved the fact that I was doing the podcast. He loved the fact that I was doing comedy. Loved the fact that I was getting IT because he was an IT guy.
Right.
Everything else he didn't really care about. So when he really cared about something, and that's no diss to him, he just like he liked what he likes.
Yeah.
So when I started doing comedy, it was one of those things where it was like he would send me clips of stuff. He would invite. He had people that at his job that did writings, that did Zoom meetings like that. So he'd give me the link for that. Like he was very, very helpful in that sense. And I think I did one show that tripped me up. It was one of my best shows, and since that moment, comedy hasn't been the same for me. So I've been invited to shows. I've been trying to do open mics, especially with the time off I've been had. But I just haven't found the funny. You know what I mean? Like I've been conversationally funny, but it just hasn't been the same since I had one show that I actually hit with a really good joke. That I actually did like a joke including family.
Right.
And a family story, and it hit. I remember, and it was one of the shows my dad was supposed to be at. But he couldn't be at because he felt really sick that day. And then 3 days later, he passed.
Right.
So it kind of hit me different since that moment. Now, am I going to be back in it shortly? Yes. I just got to find, I've been writing. I just got to find that piece, you know? It ain't nothing about like, oh man, I'm not scared or anything. I think anybody that wants to do it, they can do it. It's just for me personally, it's like I got to find that piece of being comfortable on stage again. Because I was just getting into the fact that I was like, I'm using some family stories. Right. And I was like, I'm going to be talking about him. I'm going to be talking about this. No grimy stuff like that. It was just, to me, it was always like just the respect factor. And then the person I went to for comedy. Because he's the one that got me into Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. He was the one that gave me, he soon as Raw and, what's it called? It was Raw and... What was the one he was in the red? No, red suit was Raw.
Red was Raw.
What was the purple suit?
Oh, I forgot that one.
The purple suit, I forget. I'm gonna look it up when I get out of here. But he got me into Raw. Made me watch Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
Made me watch Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac's my all-time favorite comic in general. And Dave Chappelle. So he got me into all that. So that's my main thing right now. What's helped me is doing the podcast, and what's helped me is like. When I'm going through these experiences and everything, it's been writing. It's been writing a lot, and I'm going to come back better. And I need to shout out Jared from my gym. He knows who he is. He has his own podcast coming, Mad Science's podcast. He's been doing the open mics. Good. He's been doing having the open mic set up, I think, once or twice a week at Shooter's Bar.
I didn't even know he was funny.
He's good. He's funny. He's good. Yeah. We're both learning at the same time.
Right.
I actually, when I started going back out, he started doing his back out again. So we were kind of tag team thing. I feel kind of bad because I kind of iced him a little bit because I was like, yo, man, I'm going. But I've been called up with BJJ, and then I don't have time to practice my stuff. And I mean, like, I don't want to go in there. And I've done it, and it's been all right. Like, going there, just have stuff off rip and just try to rip it off. But I want to go in that kind of setting where I'm like, I know what I'm about to say. I know how it's supposed to land. I know how to do all that stuff. I'm taking that more serious as I'm taking this more serious as well because it's something that I love. If I'm going to just be pacified and just doing it, I shouldn't be doing it. If I'm going to be loving it, I'm obsessed with it, I need to give it my all. So I haven't been able to give, in the short answer, I haven't been able to give comedy my all.
Okay.
But it's going to be coming soon.
Understood.
It's going to be coming soon.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's a very good question. No one's you're the first person that ever asked me about comedy as the alley-oop question. So I actually like that, man. But yo, it is that time, guys. It is that time. I'm your boy, The Hype. It's been a wonderful time with my man RC from Oasis Cigars.
Thank you, bro.
Peace, love, and bye.
I got 2 twin Glocks strapped to my hip. One for the ops, one for the dip. Got the drip on me, and she take a sip. Doing shit you never see.